apparently Kanye West, he says he likes Jews again. He watched an old movie from 2012, I think, 21 Jump Street, starring Jonah Hill, and he said, "Wow, I forgot how much I like Jonah Hill, and he's a Jew. Therefore, I've rethought my hatred of Jews, and I no longer hate or Jewish people." I don't think he used the word hate, but he says he likes Jewish people again. So at the very least, he acknowledges that he disliked Jewish people as a whole
Mhm.
before. He's essentially tacitly admitting that. And this super arbitrary random event has flipped his opinion once again. And this proves a couple things. Number one, it proves again that he is either bipolar or fleety or just a very flaky, unpredictable person. And it also, unfortunately, for the people who are still trying to die on the hill of, well, Kanye isn't racist or he wasn't judging all Jewish people based on a few Jewish people. I guess that argument is torpedoed because he admits that that's exactly what he was doing. He said that he made a mistake in taking his experience with negative experiences with a few Jewish people, probably the executives that did him wrong, and then extending that and applying it to all Jewish people. He acknowledges now that that was a mistake. I wouldn't say it's the textbook definition of racism, but it's very close. It is just not treating people as individuals. It's, stereotyping people so heavily that you won't even give individuals a chance to,
Except now, yeah. Except
you
he's just
know,
doing exactly the same thing in the
yeah,
opposite
he
direction.
won't he won't he won't respect the content of an individual's character. He'll just say, "Well, you're Jewish, and that other guy that I dealt with is Jewish, and he's bad, so therefore you're bad," which is, almost the textbook definition of racism, right? I
Yeah.
won't say it is the textbook definition because what if the thing that you are the blanket stereotype is positive, right? It would be hard to argue that that's racism. What if you said, "Oh, the two Jewish people I knew were the most awesome people on earth. So now every time I run into a Jewish person, I love that person." Well, I mean, I suppose if you were super woke, you could argue that that's a form of racism, but I don't think anybody with a common sense would argue that because literally no harm done, so we probably wouldn't call it racism. So I guess Ben Shapiro should be happy. He should be welcome back on Candace's show and all of that good stuff, and maybe he can make money again. And if a cynical person might say, "Well, he's just doing this so he can start making money in the industry again," but I don't think Kanye is like that intentional or. He just kind of goes with what he's feeling right at this moment. So
Yeah.
I would assume this is genuine.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think this is an example of how people actually get persuaded. People get persuaded when you actually have a positive experience.
This feels jarring because it's so like violent of a directional change. He's very publicly against Jews, and now, oh, I watched a movie and now I flip. Okay,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
that's him. It made me realize that this idea that people generalizing and stereotyping, that's a thing, that's an aspect of human nature. I don't think it will ever go away, right? It is efficient. We only have so much energy and time. We don't have the time to treat everybody as an individual or treat every single situation as an individual situation. We use pattern recognition. We generalize from, the specific to the general. That's a thing that is done, and the reason why it's done is because it is efficient. It's not comprehensive and it's not foolproof, but it is efficient. You ate eggs that smelled bad, and then you were sick the next day, and then you just assume that all eggs that smell bad will make you sick. That's kind of how we're wired. You ran into this particular type of animal and it attacked you or was dangerous, and you told everybody, "Hey, don't go near that animal again." And that was a pretty good rule of thumb, even though you don't know for a fact that the animal would always attack you, right? So we do that kind of thing just naturally in a society, in a civilization. Of course, this sort of behavior doesn't always look very pretty, and it doesn't always yield the best results because it does sometimes create racial prejudice. But it's baked in to us, and I think it's important to acknowledge that there's a good reason it's baked in. It's not just, oh, humans are just built incorrectly, and this need to generalize and make stereotypes. It's just because evolution had it wrong and it made us flawed. Like it didn't. We just have layered on a civilized society that is at loggerheads with this instinct. So
Yeah.
I don't think Kanye is a bad guy, and I look forward to his next switch. I mean, he's proven that he could go any direction at any time. If he was your if you were hoping that he would be your anti-Semitic hero, don't hope for that. Like, don't depend on him for that. Just like when he first had his conservative turn, I cautioned against that. Like, well, this guy, he can sort of flip at a switch. You don't know
Yep.
what he's going to be tomorrow. Appreciate it for what it is, but just keep that in mind.